Well, Botswana's multinational grocery and general merchandise retailer Choppies reporting half-year earnings for the period ended December 31st. That's with revenue up at 24%. Now, for more on the numbers, we're joined by Ramachandran Ottapathu, CEO at Choppies Enterprises. Ramachandran, thanks for joining us today. So just looking at that revenue line there, the top line growth of 24%, give us an indication of to what extent this was generated by higher sales and higher volumes moving through the company, and to what extent you saw price inflation being able to push through in the Botswanan economy. And we know there have been reports of it coming under strain in light of what's taken place on the diamond market.
Hello?
Hi, Ramachandran. Yes. Can you hear me there?
Hi, Samantha. How are you?
Good. I can hear you. Good, thanks. So I was just looking at the earnings. I suppose if you could just give us an overview of that 24% revenue growth we saw, because give us an indication of to what extent that growth is being generated by higher sales and to what extent you're seeing price inflation being pushed through.
Inflation was around 7% on an annual basis.
So certainly outpacing that 7%. So it's organic growth in sales coming through. You've got about a 40% share of the local supermarket industry. Do you see yourself being able to expand that market share in the local market, given the fact that you've got about 53 stores now? And how do you intend to do that if that is the case?
We got a 30% market share, not 40, 30%.
All right.
And we got 53 supermarkets operating in Botswana and 17 supermarkets in South Africa at the moment.
So what is your, when it comes to the local market right now, given you've got those 53 stores, what is your plan when it comes to some of the underperforming stores? Have you taken any remedial action on those?
Currently we don't have any underperforming stores in Botswana per se. We get some dips in certain areas due to the regional specialities, like there may be an issue with a road closure or something like that. Other than that, we don't have any underperforming stores in Botswana per se.
Yeah, and of course, one of the characteristics of Choppies is the incredible growth that you've seen in the local market, but you're looking to tap into opportunities in South Africa. You've opened 4 new stores here in the past 6 months, rather. Give us an indication of how that strategy is panning out and how you're finding the local competition from the likes of ShopRite and perhaps Pick and Pay.
If you look at the South African results, we grew organically by 16%. And the group, South African stores grew by 77% in the last 6 months, which is incredible in our view.
So certainly,
we've really grown very well in South Africa.
Certainly justifying your presence here then. Why do you think the Choppies brand and your expansion into South Africa has worked so well? What is it about Choppies that you're doing in terms of your presence in certain locations or your offering that is working well for the local market?
Yes, it's working. Our value offering is doing great job for us for the time being.
Yeah. Looking at those 53 stores, how many stores do you intend to have this time next year?
We would like to get the number to 60 in Botswana, and the number we love to have it in South Africa is 30, but I'm sure we will get up to at least 28 in South Africa and 60 in Botswana.
So, I mean, you're still far off from that mark when it comes to the local market here in South Africa, but certainly ambitious expansion plans and adding a few more stores in Botswana. What are your funding plans for that? How are you intending to finance that expansion?
All these expansions are going to be funded from the internal resources. We wouldn't need any funding for the time being to carry on with the current expansion plan.
So it almost seems like keep doing what you're doing. If I'm reading you correctly, Ramachandran, give us an idea of your focus right now for the group, given the fact that you have delivered some fantastic results, and just even looking at the bottom line there, even managing to gain on efficiencies, given the fact that your gross profit margin a lot stronger this time around.
Yes. My first strategy going around in South Africa is to gain market share by opening more stores. As I told you, we would like to have 30 stores by the end of the year. At least we'll have 28 stores, certainly for sure by the end of the year. And we have put up a decent warehouse in Rustenburg. That is going to add on to the efficiency of Choppies operations in